What is the relationship between public administration, public interest, public trust, reforms and change and development? This is the sequence. First of all, you know what is public administration, all of you must be knowing, but still I am not willing to take any chance. So public interest, public administration is government's administration. And when we talk about public administration, we talk about sum total of all those activities, institutions, which act on behalf of the state or the government to carry out or to accomplish some goals and purpose objectives related to welfare, development and security. So public administration, when public administration acts in public interest, public administration acting in public, you know what is public interest? There is no definition of public interest in our constitution. Public interest in general means the interest which is common nature, which is the interest of the common people at large, and something which is related to common mass or any collectivity of people. And this interest is not an ordinary interest in music, interest in traveling or something. Interest means your genuine claims backed by some kind of law, constitution. Getting a point? So when public administration acts in public interest, and public interest, public health and working in public interest means that you are doing something for improving the quality of their life. So public interest, there is no rigid definition of that, but anything which is in the larger interest of society, whether it is public health or education, or you talk about security and the law and order, anything, social justice, women empowerment, child development, environmental protection. So whatever thing that you are doing, which is in general in the larger interest of the society or any group or community, it is public interest. So, and public interest is not something subject to some fundamental attributes that it leads to improvement to the quality of life. Public interest is a relative concept. So as the society evolves, society undergoes changes. When the notion of right and wrong undergo changes, when the value system undergo changes, what appeared to be very much wrong yesterday now appear to be very much right, and vice versa. So accordingly, public interest keep assuming new dimensions. So public interest, if public administration is dynamic, and public administration, because by better utilization of its institutional wherewithal or capacity, it serves larger public interest. To that extent, it builds up public trust. So that public trust between the administration on the one hand and society on the other, that gives a very firm foundation to bring reforms and change. But remember one thing, public trust can be accomplished not only by working in public interest. You are working in public interest, but your actions also conform to the requirement of legality, objectivity, rationality, dependability. So when means and ends, both of them, fall within the bounds of law and ethical moral standards of society, then only public trust is built up. And once the public trust is achieved, then it becomes easier for any government to bring reforms. Take the example of Modi government. Modi government has been able to bring reforms in different walks of life. Take a why, and without so much of resistance, with few exceptions, they have been able to bring, a lot of changes. Why? Because it has earned public trust. Today, when the government talks about change or some kind of reforms, you don't see so much of opposition. Why? The people have trust that whatever thing is done by the government, it will be in the larger interest or collective interest of society. There was some opposition, Notbandi or something, but later on people realized that it was in the interest of the society. People started making mockery of Jan Dhan Yojana or Khata something. Then you see the benefit of the same in the corona crisis. And once you achieve that public trust, that stability, that disposition, where from it becomes easier to bring reforms and change. एक बार आप ट्रस्ट और कॉन्फिडेंस किसी का विन कर लेते हो, उसके बाद अगर आप चेंज या बदलाव की बात करते हो तो रेजिस्टेंस बहुत कम से कम होगा. सो ए गवर्नमेंट which has achieved trust and confidence, for that government it becomes easier to bring reforms and change. And through reforms and change only you can accomplish growth and development, because development is not possible without change. Progress is all about bringing change amid stability and stability amid change. Point clear? So therefore public administration acting in public interest, and acting in public interest to serve larger public interest in keeping with the legality and morality, then it earns public trust. Once it earns public trust, then it becomes easier to bring reforms and change. And through reforms and change, you can actively pursue the case of growth and development. This is the link. Thank you.